going to be solving for a variable for 2.5. The steps are: first, use PEMDAS backwards to undo everything in an equation to isolate the given variable. Now, this is your overarching goal of solving for a variable. You're going to use PEMDAS backwards to undo everything in the equation to isolate the given variable. All right, let's try this. Let's see what this means. We have P equals 2L plus 2W. This is the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle, so 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And I want to solve for W. For example, maybe I know the length, but I don't know the width of a perimeter, and I know the perimeter and the length, but I'm looking for the width. So I'm first going to take away the length because I'm trying to get W by itself. So now I have perimeter minus 2 length equals 2W. I'm going to divide by 2 so that I know what 1W equals, or one side of the width. So I removed any adding or subtracting first. So I'm going through PEMDAS backwards. Then I'm going to move any multiplication or division. And then I'm going to leave as is once the variable is isolated. I'm not looking for a number answer here. I'm just looking for the variable. It asked me to solve for W, so I'm going to leave it as it is. W equals P minus 2L divided by 2. And remember that everything gets divided. Now, let's talk about the distance formula in science. Sorry, that was the bell. When you were doing your mousetrap race cars, you talked about distance, rate, and time. Distance equals rate times time. But what if I know distance and time, but I need to find the rate? Well, D equals R times T. So if I divide by T on both sides, I get distance divided by T equals rate. What if I wanted to solve for time? Say I know the rate and the distance. So distance equals rate times time. And this time I'm going to divide by rate because I want to get rid of that so that all I have left is T by itself. If you were in 7th period, we did this one in class on Friday. All right, let's talk about, what about force, mass, and acceleration? You did these also in science class when you did your mousetrap race cars. Force equals mass times acceleration, or F equals ma. And I want to solve for acceleration. Say I know my force and I know my mass, but I need to find out what my acceleration is. So in that case, I'm going to take F equals ma, divide by m on each side, and I get F over m equals a. All we're doing is rearranging our letters. Let's try another one that actually has some numbers in it. What about m plus 3 divided by n equals p? What if I want to solve for n? So what does n equal? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to multiply by n on this one. The last problem, we undid all the addition and subtraction first. But in this case, I'm going to undo the division first because everything's being divided. The m plus 3 is being divided by n, which works like parentheses. There's some imaginary parentheses around m plus 3. So I multiply by n on both sides. And then I'm going to divide by p on both sides to get the p to the other side. So now I end up with m plus 3 over p equals n. Again, excuse the bell. All right, this last part, if you've got that much, you can go ahead and stop. If you want some more examples, go ahead and keep following these last 2 examples. These are similar to the ones on your assignment. If I have 12 equals a plus 5b, and I want to solve for a, I'm going to subtract 5b from both sides. And now I have a equals 12 minus 5b, and I'm all done. So your goal is just to take away whatever's in the way of keeping you from having the letter by itself. So now I have 3x minus 7y equals z, and I want to solve for x. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 7y to both sides, which gives me 3x equals z plus 7y, or 7y plus z. It doesn't matter which order you put it in. Now I'm going to divide by 3, and remember I'm going to divide everything on the right side of the equal sign by 3. So 7y plus z, all of that divided by 3.